7 years after 26/11, is India ready to prevent a Paris-style attack that we saw just a couple of weeks back? Joining us on our talking point tonight, Praveen Swami is Strategic Affairs Editor of the Indian Express. Rajinder Kumar, former Special Director of the IB, will be joining us in a moment. M.N. Singh, former Police Commissioner of Mumbai, will also be joining us in a moment. Rupen Doshi, CEO of Future Tech. He lost a very dear friend during the 26/11 attacks. And Dr. Rohan Gunaratne is Professor of Security Studies at the International Center for Political Violence and Terrorism. He's joining us via Skype from Singapore. Let's ask that to Rupen Doshi. He is from Mumbai. He grew up there. He's from Future Tech. He lost a very dear friend during 26/11. That was, of course, something that I said this at the top of the show as well, Rupen, that no matter whether you were in Mumbai, no matter whether you were directly affected by this attack or not, it's something that no Indian can ever forget. Today, though, 7 years on, and you continue to live in Mumbai, are you any more confident, Rupen, of the capability of Mumbai's police force of handling a 26/11 style attack again, if God forbid one were to happen, or even to prevent one from happening?
You see, what happens is that as the Mumbai police increases its capability, the terrorists also increase their capabilities. So who's the smarter of the two? Is the government? Worldwide it's been proved and known that government is not as smart as the terrorists. That's one thing. So in the sense of sheer capability, arms and ammunition, equipment and technology, I don't think the government can ever, or the Bombay police can ever really cope with what the terrorists have, because they have access to global funds and global equipment and all of that. The other thing is that Bombay is a large city, so a terrorist can plant a bomb or carry an AK-56 wherever he wants. The police can't guard each and every citizen in each and every square inch of the city. Okay. So it's not even right to expect the police to have that kind of capability. I think it's very important. Police have informers and their entire subterranean network. I think that's very important if that's working, obviously. But if citizens actually play a more active role, it's pretty obvious that Kasab and his friends didn't get the RDX or whatever else into the country without local support. Money was paid and these goods came in. So I think it's very important that the citizens are more alert, not only to general security, which happens once in a way, but who are generally alert to law breaking as a whole. And each one, I have said this before, each one has his own standards for law breaking. So I will break the signal, but somebody will take money and let arms and ammunition in. So I think we need to, as a nation, as a citizen, become more law abiding. So when everybody is following the law, it's going to be very difficult for the lawbreaker to kind of get away with it.
I think,
yes, we may be feeling a little more safe.
I do agree with you, to a limited extent, that it's hard to always keep blaming the security forces, because remember, they have to thwart the possibilities of attacks day in, day out, 1,000 times. Happen. I want to go through those recommendations, okay? One of the recommendations of the Pradhan Committee was amphibian vehicles and speedboats. The Mumbai police procured 7 speedboats and 4 amphibian vehicles, which Praveen also will testify, by the way, are just gathering dust. They're defunct. They decided to have coastal police stations, right? There are just 2 policemen in a makeshift bamboo shack. And as I understand, there are only 2 such police chowkis, for want of a better word, in all of Mumbai, for a city of 15 million plus. I mean, it's a real shame.
Point,
yeah,
I'd just like to come in for a minute, please.
Yes, Rupen. Yes,
Rupen. About this hardware, what Mr. Singh said
I
about this hardware.
I was coming to that, but
this is the mistake that all of us. I think this is the mistake that we as a nation are making.
I said that
everybody said that
I was talking in comparative terms.
We are
better prepared today than what we
Pakistanis
were
got the
in
latest
2008.
equipment and technology.
And I talked only about hardware. I didn't talk about
You need a security mindset.
I only said that today, just listen to me, my dear. My dear, listen to me. Let me complete. Let me complete.
Saying yes. Rupen, you want to quickly respond before I go to Rohan Gunaratne, please. Rupen.
Yes, there is, all what I hear now is, I think what we need is a security mindset. The security guys, the agencies should go to Tel Aviv and see how the entire Israeli ecosystem is built around securing the borders, securing their country, securing Jews all over the world. So I think that's very important. We don't think security at all. We think that buying hardware, doing a patchwork here or patchwork there. So, we say training is not adequate. So these are all excuses which are just small pieces in the security jigsaw. If you build an entire ecosystem, starting from, schooling and training, I think that the whole environment will be such that even terrorists will fear to tread into India. That's first thing. Second thing is the response will be immediate. If citizens actually participate in like how informers participate, you know, if citizens actually participate in this activity, you can imagine the number of, imagine in Bombay, you know, 2 crore people are actually your informers. What kind of intelligence gathering you're talking about? Amazing. So I think the entire security mindset has to percolate down to the common man. You need to think, you know, security point of view, not necessarily all the time. A sniper's not going to bump me off right now. But if you think about it like generally, or taken for granted kind of a thing, then I think we'll all feel a lot more secure all the time without having to worry about it and without having to worry about the external
Rohan Gunaratna, I think they've tried everything, haven't they? I mean, not just this government, even the previous government. They tried a phase of not talking. That didn't seem to work. They tried a phase of talking to Pakistan. That didn't seem to work. I think basically, whether it's BJP or Congress, they're simply clutching at straws, trying to figure out how to get Pakistan and the Pakistani establishment to at least show to the world that there is some modicum of justice done. There are 7 people who've been put on trial. At least try and get that trial concluded, convict them. I don't think there's a strategy. I honestly don't think there is a strategy. I'll give the closing comment to Praveen Swami. Quick closing comment in terms of, do you see this sort of...
It's not realistic to accept. It's not realistic to expect justice from Pakistan. I think we are being too idealistic. Look at the country, look at its background, you know, look at what they've been doing. How can you expect to get justice from there? We need to do justice ourselves. By prevention, by booking the people who are here, who are involved in that kind of a crime. So I think it's very realistic and idealistic to expect United States and United Nations to help us. Let's do it ourselves. Let's strengthen our own hands. Let's keep our own people and country strong, and the problem will automatically reduce.
Okay, we'll have to leave it at that. But I really hope, you know, it's a real shame that we've been doing these sort of anniversary specials every year in the aftermath of 26/11. And the longer we move away from that event, from what happened that day, it seems like the less our politicians and our governments, irrespective of their political affiliations, seem to care about what happened that day. And that's a real sad reality of the apathy that the system itself has come to display. But thank you very much for joining us. Praveen Swami, Rajinder Kumar, M.N. Singh, Rupen Doshi and Rohan Gunaratna. I wish we could continue to carry on this conversation, but unfortunately time is our enemy. We're going to take a quick break here in the program. When we come back, we will have the other big story of the day. Winter session of Parliament getting off to a pretty stormy start. It wasn't meant to be this way. A debate on the Constitution, and yet both the government and the opposition finding opportunities to attack each other. Quick break. We're back in a couple of minutes.